I've been Looksmaxxing since the ripe age of 13 years old. Whenever I was obviously very insecure with myself, I wanted to get more girls and just look the absolute best that I could. But I made so many mistakes along the way. Like, this was way before the forums, this was way before any Looksmaxxing trends, YouTubers, anything, man. So today I'm going to talk about my biggest mistakes, my biggest regrets, if I could go back in time and change it.
You've got to come back with me!
Where?
Back to the future!
But it's going to give you a different perspective on everything. Without further ado, let's get it. I just added my bad boy and then the billionaire chapter to my archetype masterclass in Kalos VIP. We have over 10 hours of content, including my high growth masterclass, Looksmaxxing masterclass, everything. I want you to join right now. It's only $19. You hop on group VIP calls with me and all of my students. Link in the description. It's gonna go back up to that 55 soon. Join now. I started bone smashing before I even knew what bone smashing was. Like, this is obviously hitting a particular part of your face to make sure that it's going to grow following Wolf's Law. And as a teenager, I noticed one side of my chin was higher, it still is if you look very closely, than the other side. So I thought that I would try to bone smash this to try to make it even. And I did notice maybe like a little bit of change. I noticed like it would flare up and then it would kind of look the same. And then I think I even started trying to hit my cheekbones and things like this. The result is, from my experience, is that not much happened, man. If anything, my face would get really puffy and bloated up, but I did not end up looking a lot more attractive. And I feel like mentally you're gonna start spiraling to where you start just getting really insecure and you start nitpicking every single thing about yourself.
Stop it. Get some help.
Better ways to develop the face than bone smashing. I don't recommend it these days. High school, there was a rumor that I was sus. At the time, an insecure teenager, what this actually did was make me insecure, because I would talk to girls and then I felt like there's a rumor going around that I don't even swing that way. So it just kind of made me more introverted more than anything. So this one is to not listen to rumors, man. When people are making up BS about you, they're trying to make up lies about you, I would just ignore it. Don't ever let it get to you, because most of the time it's coming from projection. I think the sus one is coming from guys wanting to lower your sexual marketplace value because they think that you are more attractive than them, number one, or number two, they are secretly sus and they're projecting and they really want to get with you, and so they're trying to create this rumor, this narrative. The first time I really wanted to put on muscle, I actually did the stupidest thing possible, and I did a long-term dirty bulk. Like, I did this for 4 to 6 months where I just got fat, man, and it took so long to actually get this fat off. But you know what's crazy? I did not even gain enough muscle during this. After I cut, I was still like pretty skinny. It wasn't until I started doing micro bulking and cutting that I actually noticed significant changes with my physique. Micro bulking and cutting is when you go super aggressive, like a dirty bulk, but only for 2 to 4 weeks, because you get that spike in hormones, and then you do a super aggressive cut for, once again, 2 to 4 weeks, because right when you start bulking is when you gain most of the muscle, and right when you start cutting is whenever you lose most of the amount of body fat. I did this for maybe 1 to 2 years. This was what actually built my physique, but I don't actually recommend this to you guys because it's very hard to follow, man. Like, if you're not going to be on it strictly every single day and then cut right when it's ready, right whenever it's time to start cutting, you're gonna mess things up, man. You're gonna end up a little bit fluffy. So that's sick if you know exactly what you're doing. I was always afraid to express myself from a younger age. I always felt like I wanted to fulfill my parents' expectations of how I'm supposed to look in society, things like this. So it lets me not ever experimenting with my fashion and with fragrances, with style, with anything, man. All I did was actually adhere to what everyone else was doing. I would just wear the basic, like, polos, the button-ups, the chinos. I looked like a white boy. I couldn't even wear a fragrance because it was hard for me to really even identify with anything. So this one, if I could go back in time, I would start experimenting. I would start pissing off my parents from a much younger age instead of waiting to really find out who I am at a later age, man. I would do it as young as possible, get that knocked out. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that there was a phase in my life when I went full-blown hippy-dippy, man.
Around your chemicals. Dirty hippies.
So whenever I would shower, I still showered. I misphrased this whenever I talked about it the other day. I would shower, but I would never use soap. I would never use body wash, shampoo, conditioner, get like the most all natural deodorant. Sometimes I would skip deodorant, no fragrances. My room had all these plants in it. Like, it was so hippy dippy, and the plants isn't like they're everywhere, man. Like, it looks a little bit weird, and I went too far down this rabbit hole. I think you can be very, very healthy and optimize your health while still doing mainstream things and not looking like a freak. Like, if a girl were to smell me, if she were to go to my bedroom, she would think I just smell disgusting. Like, I smell like I don't even take care of myself.
You smell funny.
So this is a big one. I would definitely minimize the hippy dippy stuff. Obviously, I was taking supplements as a teenager, and I was also taking them ever since I was a child because my parents would give them to me. But if I had a time machine, I would go back to my younger self and give me my supplements that I take nowadays from kalosique, man, because my supplements now are even better than what I used to take back in the day, because things like Aries Rage, for example, has every nutrient, every herb possible to boost your testosterone. Tanga Ali, maca, boron, oyster extract, pumpkin extract. Every herb, if you look at this, is so kick-ass at boosting testosterone. It's going to boost by over 37%, scientifically studied, decreasing cortisol by over 16%, decreasing estrogen by over 39%, all scientifically proven. This is the most insane thing. I take myself to this day, every single day, religiously. I love Aries Rage with all my heart, man. The Titan Growth 2.0, this is the best height growth support supplement. Obviously, it's not a magic pill, but it will help you optimize your overall health because 92% of you guys are deficient in basic vitamins, minerals. This just gives you everything you need to optimize your overall health. There's even an immune blend, an herbal blend, everything needed to just really feel awesome, feel like your best self. Use my code WAYNE for 10% off everything on kalosique.com. And also, guys, I am opening my coaching program, so if you want to work with me one-on-one to look like a Greek god male model, link is in the description to work with me as an ACE certified personal trainer. I've worked with over 1,000 people. I want to work with you next. It took me a while to actually start lifting weights. For the better part of my childhood, I didn't want to lift weights because I was a basketball player, and I thought this would ruin my shot, which a lot of basketball players, they lift weights, and it does not ruin their shot. You just have to be doing things properly. And then later on, I started doing calisthenics. If I could go back, I would definitely start lifting weights from the earliest age possible, probably even 13 years old. And it does not stunt your growth as long as you're not doing anything that's going to overly compress the spine. Like, I still would not recommend deadlifts and then barbell back squats, but almost everything else is actually going to be extremely beneficial for building an aesthetic physique, growing taller, like looking your absolute best, everything. I also went through a phase where I was insanely obsessed with teeth whitening. After I got my braces off, I could not even stop teeth whitening if I wanted to. It was like an addiction, man. Like, I would go to bed with like the most intense opalescence hydrogen peroxide on my teeth, and I would sleep with this for like 8 hours at a time, man. My teeth, if I can find a picture, I will attach it, but they were as white as a piece of paper, as white as this wall. They looked insanely white, but I cooked my enamel. It was basically gone. If I were to hit my teeth on anything, they would probably shatter. They would probably just fall apart, man. It took me years to actually build my enamel back up. So this one, be very careful with teeth whitening, as if you overdo it, you can easily ruin that enamel. Ironically, I was doing all that, but I was not doing any skincare, man. I had zero skincare whatsoever. I never exfoliated, I never moisturized, I never did anything. At some point, I started doing my mom's like all natural skincare routine with manuka honey, some sea salt or brown sugar, some olive oil, things like this. But real skincare, like the snail mucin and the Korean stuff, the exfoliants, everything, beef tallow, things like this, I did not start doing that until much later, and I wish I started sooner. I was so insecure about my looks, this actually made me very introverted to not talk to girls. I was feeling like I wasn't good enough to talk to them. Even after I glowed up, I still had this insecurity like deep within me to where I couldn't talk to them. I didn't ever feel like I was good enough. I still felt like that chubby loser that I was before, and it made it hard to actually enjoy life. If I could go back, I would stop being so hard on myself. I would stop being so obsessed with all of this, and I would actually relax a little bit. I would ask out the girls that I actually thought were cute, that I never even spoke a word to. I would start trying to make more male friends, start doing more social activities, be more involved with my school. If I could go back, these are the things that I 1000% would have done. These are going to be more important than Looksmaxxing in the long run. You got to enjoy your life to the absolute fullest, man. You've only got one of those. Last but not least is going to be, like we talked about, having more character. So ever since a very young age, like maybe I was like 8 years old, I don't even know, I was obsessed with all black. Like, I was obsessed with any character that resembled this, like Anakin Skywalker, Shadow the Hedgehog, like anything all black, I was obsessed with it. But I wanted to wear all black. I wanted to have more edge. I wanted to dye my hair black. I wanted to wear more jewelry, but I was afraid of how I'd be perceived. I'd be afraid that people would say, you're goth, you're emo, all these things, and I just couldn't do it. So I just wanted to blend in with everybody else. Like I talked about, if I could go back, I would definitely just express myself more. Not give so many F's of what other people think, because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you want to express yourself a certain way, I think you should. It's going to make you feel better, and it's going to make you identify with who you truly, authentically are at the end of the day. But that's it, man. Subscribe if you're new. I love you guys with all my heart. Peace.